Welcome back to the Voiceless Speak Forever podcast. I'm your host, Hepburn, and today's grief story is by Saturday Morning 593. 2 weeks and 1 day ago, I had to put down my beloved dog of 14 years. He had been a rescue from a market in Ecuador. He was sold at 2 weeks old for $1 along with his brother, who was also $1. My sister rescued them, and I raised them on and off for the majority of his life. I was studying overseas, so I would go back as often as I could to look after them. When they were about 4 months old, they were good puppies, and I told him that one day I would bring him to the US to live with me. My mom and dad would retire 6 to 7 years after that, and even though they were thinking about leaving him in Ecuador, I told them to bring him and I would care for him, and so they did. He was a pleasure to have around, a perfect dog in every sense. Even though he hated baths, he would come to me when called just because he was a good boy. He was a type of dog who could do no wrong on top of being the most handsome. He joined my household of two dogs and he fit in perfectly. I took him everywhere with us, and I knew he loved it because back in Ecuador, he only stayed home and went to the nearby park. In the US, he went to New Mexico, New Orleans, Florida, and hikes all around Texas. When I noticed something wrong with him, the vet took x rays and said his hips were bad. He said that surgery was not recommended due to his age, so he started medication. I noticed him slowing down more and more with time. He also had a multitude of other issues. I asked the vet when it would be time. He said, as long as he is happy to see you when you go back and he can potty outside, he's good. That worked for me. We got a cart for him to wheel him around when we went out on walks because I wouldn't leave him behind whilst we all got out. I noticed he would enjoy spring way more than Texas summers. About 4 years after his initial x rays, he slowed down to the point where I would bring him his food and water, and he would only get out to potty. Soon after, it was his time. That was 2 weeks and 1 day ago today. My world as I knew it changed forever without my permission or his. At one point, I wanted to just be with him so the pain would stop. Last Friday, I saw my pet's name in Chewy, a web company where I get most of my doggy stuff from since they were super fast and responsible. I messaged them to let them know that my dog had passed and to please not send me anything for him as I was having a tough time with dealing with his absence. I had sent the message late at night on the weekend, so I fully didn't expect a response until Monday. To my surprise, I got a response within hours expressing their condolences and providing me with a number to call if I need grief assistance. I felt so much relief that my message was attended to and that I had this incredible resource from Chewy since pet grief is often overlooked. The most wonderful surprise came Monday, 3 days after I had messaged them. Chewy had sent their condolences to my home. I was so pleasantly surprised. I turned my day around since it was the 2 week anniversary of that fateful day, and having a surprise delivery to my door gave me a much needed distraction that I will always be appreciative of. I learned to lean on people and acts of kindness, to remind myself that life goes on and it will be okay again one day.